So, next thing we want to do is anything new we can build. Yes, we can build the infirmary. We don't want. Oh yeah, I forgot. Before I lost my data, I had installed the unofficial patch onto this copy of Evil Genius. The older one that I was doing the second walkthrough in didn't have it, and I would actually prefer it that way because it does a lot of things that actually aren't actually available in the game, like building hotels in the main base, as well as building main base rooms in the hotel areas. And it also raises the population cap to 150. Um, like that. There's things like that. There's also let's see. It finally allows the Disguise Sentry Gun to actually be built because for some reason it never gets it never actually gets researched. There's some sort of glitch with it. It also allows I think the monkey in a box trap to be built, which is something that wasn't actually buildable until that point due to a glitch. Actually, some people say it was actually taken out due to human animal rights activists complaining because it involves capturing a chimpanzee and training him. But I think that's just bullcrap. Okay. Oh no, we want corridor. So here's how you make the generator alley. Is once you get to this point here, you're pretty much already done. Now you take the point where you had already had pointed out where you want it, just like this, and you hit OK. Now here's where you have to be quick. You have to be able to pay attention. Um, you have to be very careful here because you want to hit construction, and then you want to destroy this big room. Now, how this works is right now this is adding on as an extension to finish filling out the rest of the room. That's how the computer treats it. Now, if you actually destroy the original room that's supposed to be extended, for some reason, oh, excuse me. Sorry, I just ate, so I'm kind of gassy. Um, the room remains treating it as an extension and keeps it going to build. Now, if you were to right-click on it, like to maybe start setting things in the room, like a one-tile trap or something, it will realize, wait a minute, you pulled the wool over my eyes. This isn't a proper room anymore, and it'll mark it as red. So you have to be careful not to click on it again once you've got it set. So, like I said, you set this one to build, and then you destroy the original room. Now the nearest minion is going to run back and get rid of that for you. Oh, let me explain this a little bit. It's kind of funny. So here's all your stats. Every character in the game has these stats, including Evil Genius, Henchmen, Agents, and Civvies. They also have the ability to tag them. I don't think you cannot tag your Henchman, and you cannot tag your Evil Genius. And what I like here is the status box, the very bottom. It explains things to do, but it has sometimes what they do is very humorous. Like for instance, sometimes it's wasting time. Sometimes it's saddling up for a mission. Sometimes it's filching your stuff, because when the loyalty of minions is getting low, they'll actually run into your room, grab money, and then run away. And it's only like maybe $100 or $200 at a time. Nothing big. Something you probably really wouldn't notice. But it's kind of funny. If I catch somebody doing that, I like to have them executed by Mac personally, as like a reminder to the workforce. Speaking of, I should go over that so I can show you how it's like. Once again, I'm still having some lag. I really hope you guys don't mind that. It might not actually even show in the post-editing. I don't know. We'll have to wait till we get there. Now, you got a bunch of minions here all standing still. This is a good time to show you how this works. So, notice when you right-click on one of your own minions, excluding henchmen.
You have failed me for the last time.
Now watch the circle. See how much bigger it got? Also, see all the little different multicolored arrows? The fact the circle's changing different colors. When you try to kill a minion in order to inspire the workforce, you get a second circle of influence that's, for the most part, larger than the first one, with the exception of Alexis's. And it has a higher regen. Usually it'll maximize or nearly maximize all receiving minion stats, which again, that depends on the Evil Genius. and how low their stats were. And what it does is it causes them to it causes the minions to go up. Now it does every stat, I think, with the exception of health. It might even do health. Yeah, it does. So that's really interesting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start laying down 3 separate power plants. You have to do it separately because they're counted as 3 separate rooms now, due to the fact that they're not directly connected. Just like that. Now this here we're going to eventually destroy, and we're going to just leave a little bit of wall there. And we're going to fill these with power plants. Oops, I hate when I do that. My finger always twitches that last moment and knocks it off center. I think I might need to get a new mouse. It's not clicking half the time. Ah, I did it again. Go away. Delete. Sorry, every time I see that, it reminds me of Death Note. And if anybody's seen Death Note, there's a character near the end of the series who gets possession of the note. And whenever he's writing names in it, he keeps going delete in the English version. Delete, 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 delete. In the Japanese version, it was Sakujo, which means eliminate. But they seem to consider that a little too violent for Western audiences. So instead they changed it to delete. Auto-saving. Okay. Turn these on. And I'll show you another little interesting trick I like to do with putting another little bit of corridor here, making a small one-tile corridors here. And then what you do is you put capacitors in there. So that way they're sunken into the wall. And you can put maybe, since this is corridor, don't forget, you can actually put a couple of extinguishers in here. So they're literally right in your power plant room. Like I said, I like to put little capacitors. They're sunken right into the wall in their own little 2x1 areas. It's going to look really nice. You'll see you'll see what I mean at the end, once this is all built. So that gets that done. Now, you might remember, all this here isn't going to be staying. This here might, but I'm probably going to relocate it. Now, what still has to be built? The infirmary, that doesn't really matter. And then let's check our... So we've done everything except eliminating the 4 agents. We're still going to leave that for a little bit. Now, did we turn this off? No, we didn't. Okay, we're going to turn this off. That makes power a little easier. Now, power generators, they generate 15 units of power. Now, I think the nuclear ones generate like a whopping 45 total. And they're also smaller, which makes them really useful. So we have 15 generators, 3 times 5, and 15 units of power each. That right there is 225 units of power. Now, that's not really that much, but as long as we keep our base minimal, up until the point where we can start researching. I might add a secondary power plant section maybe here, and maybe even here, just as supplementary power so we can have a little more extravagant base until we can get the research done. But once you've got the nuclear power plants, you don't need that many. 10 will get you to the first island easily, because 10 of them will give you 600 to 800 power. At 45 units each times 10, that's 450. Okay, my math was off. But right there, at 1/3 less than the generators already have, it'd be pumping out double the power. Double the power. Okay, so now that's done, we're going to put a little bit of corridor right here.